Microphone check 1, 2. I'm pretty sure everybody can hear me. Welcome to the show. Here we go. Um, Tonight we're going over a lot of things. Male loneliness, once again, and its connection to what's been going on in the news, because there is a strong connection. It's hard to hurt people if you're out having the best time of your life, with a loved one or family. So I also want to make sure that I show you the correlation between Kevin Samuels, the late Kevin Samuels, and the late Charlie Kirk. They're not the same, but they are very similar. Miss Alto, welcome to the show. It's good to see you. Without further ado, we're going to start off with some, a backstory. So we're not going to jump right into it, but I need to make sure I show you the whole correlation. Welcome to I would say a short preview of phone calls from prison. Let's give them the props where they, where they deserve it. This is an excellent show. Let's go.
How are you?
Hold on one second. Has some volume. I want to make sure everyone can hear it. There we go. Right there. What you're going to be hearing is a conversation between Nesto, who happens to be in prison, and Sonia. Maybe we can gain some insight to why women are attracted to men in prison. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm hanging in there. Yep.
Hanging in there.
That's all I can do. That's it.
That's it.
Around here, they got that game on it.
Oh, Monday Night Football, who's playing?
Chargers and Rams.
Chargers and the Rams.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't know the story of Nesto, he would be called a high value con man at one time. In fact, he probably had more money than Kevin Samuels did. Unfortunately, he had a dark past, and that past caught up with him because he kept doing what that dark past told him to do. He was actually married, to a lot of women, and he conned literally all of them, which is important to know. Excuse me, sorry. And guess what? He kind of has the same hustle as Kevin Samuels and Charlie Kirk. We're going to find out. Here we go.
Anyway, how you doing?
I'm fine. I had a good day.
That's good.
I can't complain.
Well, it ain't nothing to complain about. You got to tell
There's
people.
plenty to complain about.
Huh?
There's plenty to complain about.
Well,
Why is Sonia still attracted to and trying to date a man who she knows deep down inside has hurt a lot of women? And the reason is inside her mind, and basically the problem she has is that she does not have the tools to choose better. She is, don't get me wrong now, she is Sonia is red pill. She wants to be a red pill queen. So it's ironic that the people that are telling women in general to choose better are actually those who didn't. Here we go.
Free. You're free, so.
You know,
You can do whatever you
health
want.
and freedom. I tell everybody, health and freedom.
Yeah.
That's all. That's it right there. Anything else can be worked out. Health and freedom. What's your reading material?
King Sigma, don't you find it really interesting that kind of like Charlie Kirk and Kevin Samuels seem to have the same behavioral structure? Would you agree? Let me know in the chat. Here we go.
Looking like?
I'm okay for right now. A couple guys, they done went down the road, so I got a couple of little things from them. But,
Okay.
I can wait till next month, see what's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Huh? What you say?
Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know.
Well, why you laughing?
Cause I started singing "Let Me Know." You ain't hear it. Thank God.
Oh, I heard it. I heard it.
You know what? I was amazed. You remember that conversation we had?
King Sigma, make sure you don't go nowhere. I'm going to show you some facts and logic and reasoning as well. I'm glad you made it here, and I hope your buddies come and find out really what the deal is. You know? Because I am about to break the code on both of them together to show you how they are similar. As you, it seems like to me you're leaning towards saying that they're very similar. So we're going to find out how they are similar, and I'm going to show you exactly what's going down. Here we go.
First week, the first day, the second day. The second day, now how I was telling you.
Yeah, I don't forget something.
Okay, I know you used to sit there and just listen. I'd be like, he's just paying attention, right? No response. I'm all ears. But yeah, about and that's how I could relate with you. You know what I'm saying? Because
King Sigma, you just proved my point. Perfect. You just proved my red pill point already. You know, a lot of people, you know, they make derogatory names for people, not realizing that if somebody said something derogatory to them, they would be extremely upset. Calling a group of women hyenas, um, it could be the same as some other men of a different race calling a group of men the N-word, if you see my point. Here we go.
close circle, like that's the crazy part. And then for them to act like, you know,
It's nothing.
yeah, act like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I went out my way to call the police on you and lie. Why are you upset about that?
This is really crazy that Sonia, after seeing this man's rap sheet, still believes that the 20 times he was arrested was unfair.
So yeah, I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Two times. I know the feeling. And it's crazy. I was like, he remembered that conversation.
Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes you gotta bring out what you have in the bag. You gotta bring it out that old paper bag. Gotta bring it out. Yeah. If you ain't paying attention to being deserted, you can't kill somebody. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well said, Deontay. She believes the man, not the law. Bars.
A lot of people out there in the world are angry with one another. It's amazing to me.
I told you it's a lot of hate out here. It's a lot of hate.
I see.
It's a lot of, it's just, what's crazy is, and I said this to you before, how people tend to pick and choose things in the Bible they want to follow. And I always thought the meaning of that religion was you follow everything.
She thinks she can save him. I believe you meant she. Yeah, there's a lot of women that are out there who think they can save, you know, their man or a man. But you know what's funny? King Sigma, you're red pill, right, dude? You red pill. Those are usually the women that support red pill men as yourself the most, are the ones that think they can save men. Maybe not like you, because of course you don't need saving, right? But they think that a woman should literally sacrifice their life for men.
Television, loving music, you know. So what are you doing? Yeah, you stuck. I see that. Yeah.
So how you feeling? You feeling better? You getting the gym?
I'm gonna always do the same. It ain't not gonna change. Some days are good, some days are bad. Some days are good.
Yeah.
Oh, you got chocolate all in my chair. Yeah. Some days are good. Chocolate. Chocolate. Yeah.
All right. So you getting ready for the fall time?
Yeah, I'm ready for fall.
So basically, you see what's going on. This is the kind of conversations red pill women have with red pill men. And let's make it clear, Nesto is red pill. He believes he should be in control. He believes that women should bow to him, even if they don't want to. He forces them to. He believes, unfortunately, in some things that are not legal. Deontay says this: cons only show their loving and empathetic side to their targets. They never see the manipulation, man, criminal. So they never see the they never see the manipulation, con man, criminal. So they just believe he's capable of it. Bars. Let's move forward a little bit. I think I might open the the link earlier. Let me know, everybody in the chat, if you want to have more of an interactive experience tonight. Here we go.
The male loneliness epidemic is not an epidemic.
Let me pause that. Let me know if you can hear it okay in there. I'm going to bring down the volume just a touch, because I hear some crackling on my end. I don't want it to be crackling on your end. Here we go.
Makes it seem like it's no one's fault. This is politically weaponized structural warfare that got manosphered into the discourse through red pill TikToks and lion memes about self-reliance and grind set mindsets in rented Bugattis, day trading a disconnect into young people everywhere. So the grifter Gestapo graft their way into the emptiness, filling the void with their final solution.
Let me pause something for a minute. What I've learned between the black manosphere and the white manosphere is that the white manosphere gets more pushback than the black manosphere does from men. A lot of the Caucasian men, when it comes to their manosphere, they ain't having it. Even men that used to be Caucasian men that used to be red pill, they're not even red. They're not feeling that anymore. They know that wasn't happening, and I'll show you more of that later on. But let's keep it going. Here we go.
That men are lonely because women are shallow, or feminism is an STD, or you're not looking.
Notice how he said men are lonely because women are shallow. This is something important I want you to grab, because it's something the late Charlie Kirk brought up.
Graft their way into the emptiness, filling the void with their final solution. That men are lonely because women are shallow, or feminism is an STD, or you're not looks maxing hard enough to be a successful Forex trader. But if you pay to enroll in their alpha male bootcamp, they promise you'll never get taken advantage of again. The greatest lie the ruling class ever told was that loneliness has a gender. But loneliness is just a feeling. It's not exclusive to those who have testicles. What we're
This is really good work, and I'll tell you why. We have seen on this show, and I have seen men in real life that sleep with different women every night, but they're as lonely as can be because the loneliness starts inside your head. And the problem is, and this is where I think a small portion of why passport bros travel is because they don't like themselves. They do not like themselves. So if you don't like yourself, you can't make yourself happy and definitely cannot make yourself not lonely.
You're experiencing is a condition called alienation. Alienation occurs when the world you used to dream of no longer exists. Cut off from community, taken for granted by our employers, and cast aside by the political class, we've become extras in someone else's film, with no speaking roles, no plot, and no catering team. We were expected to be grateful for the exposure, and make sure to share on your Instagram story. So
as you can see, it's starting to already bleed a little bit into slight politics because really, quite honestly, politics and loneliness and red pill and MAGA all mix in together. Basically, if men were happier, there would be no MAGA movement because there would not be a reason to be in the MAGA movement because you'd be too busy having a good time, having fun, having a fulfilling life with somebody. But I have to say that these purveyors of these genres of red pill, MAGA, to me, in a way, is a genre. It gives these men, these disgruntled men, somebody else to blame. Another target that's not them. And that makes them feel better because now they're not saying, I'm a piece of crap. They're saying, oh, those people over there is a piece of crap, not me. That's basically what's going down. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
So everyone knows you enjoyed the experience. You're an extra in someone else's film right now. With the rise of technology, we all got connected and lost connection. Swiping right turned love into a market value. Friends became followers, and collective problems became personal.
You know who has a hard time connecting with other people? Narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths. They can emulate connection. They can seem like they are friendly, outgoing people, but inside, I mean, they're pretty much monsters. I mean, a good example would be here, let me see if I can bring them up real quick. Let's see. Give me 1 second. You're going to love this. I need to make this comparison. Yep. Okay, let me see if no, not this one. That's what I want is bear with me, people. This I am going to play so very little of this. So here we go.
This place, the Chick's restaurant. Why aren't we doors yet? Because Bateman won't give the maitre d' head. You'd like to take a minute, they don't have a good bathroom to do coke in.
Remember this? Remember this. He is polite to his friends. He is pretending to like them, but on the inside, he can't stand them. Can't show you the movie because you have to go see the movie. But I think you should see it. Go Netflix this puppy because you're going to see exactly what I mean. Basically, men who want to be with men because they really hate women. But they're an ends to a mean. And really, they hate everybody, but especially women. Let me get back into the mix. Here we go, y'all.
Issues too painful to unpack out loud, because showing vulnerability gives leverage to your competitors, and a chink in the armor gets you stabbed in the back. So stoicism was the tourniquet to make the bleeding stop. But these red stains we can't wash off are neoliberal war paint. When we stopped holding hands, we started pointing our fingers and pulling up bootstraps. So sadness got entombed in a crypt and converted to crypto.
Talking about crypto, let's move forward, y'all. Remember this guy?
Romanian police are expanding their investigation of the former kickboxer Andrew Tate.
A controversial influencer, Andrew Tate, has been accused of putting a gun in a woman's face.
Police in Romania are questioning Andrew Tate into alleged crimes, including sex with a minor and money laundering.
This is recent, y'all. Andrew Tate. Very popular with men. Not so popular with women. He likes to think that he is, but he's not. He's got his woes.
Andrew Tate, a name that once set social media ablaze, built on lies and sophisticated schemes. He claimed to be a 4-time kickboxing champion, but the professional community does not recognize this. Hustlers University was promoted as a secret to wealth, but in reality, it was just a multi-level marketing scheme, exploiting money from his own fans. All that glamour piled up to create an arrogant alpha male persona, but it ultimately led to a cold conclusion. Arrested in Romania facing charges of human trafficking, abuse, and money laundering, with the possibility of years in prison. Nevertheless, it cannot be denied that Andrew Tate was once a global phenomenon. In 2022 alone, he garnered over 12 billion views on TikTok and had more than 200,000 students willing to pay to hear him lecture on secrets to success. This flash.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Oh, we got a correlation here now. Maybe Andrew is a little bit closer to Charlie than I would say Kevin, but we can say they're probably all in the same mix. You know what I mean? Here we go.
Flashy, powerful, and supremely confident image made millions of young people both idolize and debate him.
I think Andrew Tate is a unique evil in the world, and he's influencing a generation of younger men. That is a unique evil, I think.
Is Andrew Tate?
That is exactly true. And it's something, believe it or not, that the late Charlie was actually reveled in doing, where he connected with younger people, mostly men, but younger people. Here we go.
Truly a victim of a shadowy force he calls the Matrix? Or is this just a performance exposing the truth behind the glamorous facade? Where does the truth lie? That's the question we'll trace together, as this video will decode the titles Tate once boasted about to the cracks gradually appearing behind the mask.
If you don't know already, so maybe you just don't know, but he was indicted on, child S, that child S thing, and a lot of other criminal. Think of him like Diddy. Think of him like Diddy, but maybe even on a bigger scale.
Before becoming the name that set social media ablaze, we should rewind to the time when the spotlight still shone brightly on him. Andrew Tate was once a professional kickboxer. He claimed to have won 4 world championships in different organizations. Belts he often flaunted as proof of his superior strength. In the ring, his tenacious fighting style and ability to knock out opponents helped him craft an image of an invincible warrior in the eyes of his followers. But Tate didn't stop at martial arts. He transformed the glory of being a fighter into a springboard to build a larger persona, an icon of modern masculinity. Stepping out of the cage, Tate donned expensive suits, drove multi-million-dollar supercars, lived in lavish mansions, and wore dazzling diamond watches. These images quickly spread across the internet. And then he began.
So King Sigma believes that he addressed all the bogus charges, which is funny because basically they got a 2-inch book on him. So that's going to be very interesting. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
began to speak, not about martial arts, but about how to be a real man. His message was simple yet incredibly compelling. Men are being weakened by society. I am the true alpha model. However, things don't stay.
If you're a true alpha model, you don't have to tell people you are, because you are. I don't need to walk around and say, hey, you know, I'm black. People can tell. Or I don't have to walk around and go, I work out. I work out. I work out. I don't have to do that. So when somebody tells you they're a certain kind of person, take it with a grain of salt.
Stay heroic forever. The brighter you shine, the easier it is for the darkness within to be exposed. And for Tate, that darkness didn't come from any external enemy, but from the very words he once proudly proclaimed. Andrew Tate often painted his childhood as a cinematic starting point for his journey to becoming an alpha superhero. He spoke of his father, a chess grandmaster, and his own feat of winning the Indiana State Championship at age 5. A story that sounds like it stepped out of a novel.
My father was a chess grandmaster. I was on track to become a chess grandmaster. So
he was a legitimate chess grandmaster.
My father was the highest rated black chess player in history.
Really?
Yeah. So my father was a big G in chess.
Yeah.
So I kind of grew up around all these chess geniuses, which is a really unusual way to grow up because you have like ex-KGB guys.
But the reality is far more modest. His father, Emory Tate, was indeed a talented chess player, but he only held the title of International Master, one rank below Grandmaster. As for Tate's victory at age 5, no records of it exist. When pieced together, these details reveal a clear pattern, exaggerating facts and turning them into legend. This wasn't
Exactly. Red pill men love either telling exaggerations, I'm being nice saying exaggerations, or listening to exaggerations.
just harmless fabrication. For Tate, every story was a tool. Instead of an ordinary childhood, he crafted an extraordinary origin story, planting in his audience's minds the impression that he was born exceptional. And from that belief, millions of young men began to see Tate as a role model to follow. Yet, when the real details were exposed, the public's initial reaction was one of shock. Many couldn't believe that the born genius persona they had once admired was built on exaggerated fragments. At first, there were only small questions and cautious whispers, but those seeds of doubt grew into an ever-widening gap. From widespread praise, the community began to view Tate with more skepticism. Some fans tried to defend him, but more and more people felt as though they had been led astray by a fabricated story. And it was in that moment when absolute trust turned to doubt.
Yeah, see, I told you. I told you. I knew they're going to bring him up. Anyway, let's keep it going. Here we go.
The crowd still watched, but no longer with the eyes of fans, now with cold suspicion. This shift caused 50% of his loyal audience to turn away and rethink their view of him. As the story of his genius chess prodigy childhood began to falter, Andrew Tate needed another platform to assert himself. The kickboxing ring became fertile ground for him to build his legend. On social media, he often claimed to be a 4-time K1 world champion, a title impressive enough to leave anyone in awe. But the truth was far different. From 2009 to 2012, Tate did compete and win a few belts in lesser-known tournaments like the International Sport Karate Association, ISKA, or Infusion. These names carried little weight in the professional kickboxing world, as they were low-tier events with mostly average opponents. The 76 wins and 9 losses record Tate frequently boasted about wasn't particularly remarkable compared to true elite fighters of his time. This exaggeration of achievements became a strategy.
I cannot stand when people act like they know how to fight, but they really don't. And then they go on and try and teach people or convince them they're experts in the sport.
And that goes for life too. Shout out to Angela Reddick and Tevin in the house. That goes for life as well. They always act like they're renowned experts in things that they're not. For example,
disagreement is there's one thing every time when you have a conversation about with a sister or something like that, you always throw saying, you know what, if it was Marisol or Becky, she would behave, her voice, this and that. Like, where did you get that? How'd you came up with that? I mean, that
that's
you
not
know
a disagreement.
them.
That's not a disagreement.
That is a disagreement. Either Kevin is not that smart, the late Kevin, I'll be respectable, is not that smart, or he's trying to deflect, because though he didn't ask, the guy didn't ask a direct question, that is a disagreement. Kevin was asking for a disagreement. what the young man is saying is that he disagrees with the fact that Marisol and Becky treat black men better than better than black men, than black women. That's what he's saying.
That's not a disagreement.
And we saw what Marisol and Becky are doing these days. Just ask Shannon Sharp. Just ask Shannon Sharp how Marisol and Becky are doing.
Oh, well, my
He made her a millionaire.
disagreement is because they're crazy too, you know.
Okay.
They're crazy women
Okay.
because
Okay.
I mean no one talks about
Okay. They're crazy women. They're crazy women everywhere. But I'm speaking broad general.
Well, and it's funny to me because really, right there, Kevin just conceded. He literally, first of all, remember his angle is this. Kevin has targeted a certain group. This could be any group. It could be any group, but he targeted a group. He dishevels this group. Happens to be black women this time for Kevin. That's his marketing. The guy brings up, rather softly, his disagreement with Kevin about other races of women treating black men better than black women. Kevin didn't even argue. He didn't even argue. He lost that point. He lost it. He just said, fine. Okay. That doesn't sound like a retort to me. That sounds like, okay, you called me on my BS. You called me on my BS. And they got him. And the guy doesn't know, but he got him. Got him good.
Generalizations are broadly true for most people.
Well, it's funny to me because he's making broad generalizations about black women. So that's the funny part, is literally right off the gate, this guy right here already just dunked on Kevin. Just literally dunked on Kevin. Just by that question is like, well, you know, and look, I've played the proof for the last month. Examples of Marisol and Becky playing niggas. So for Kevin to have said this and you guys to believe it, it's diabolical. There we go. By the way, I dropped a link just in case you want to try to debate me on this point. But nobody will, because you know me. I got you. I got your number. Let me keep it going.
7 billion people on the planet. I can't speak for everything. That's
Well,
ridiculous.
when you see, it's funny because he seems to speak for everything when it comes to black women. The point is this. What old K. Sam was saying is that he was basically, when he brings up Marisol and Becky, he's bringing them up to put black women down. That's what he's doing it for. He's putting it up to diss black women, which is ironic because he had Marisol at his crib and she couldn't save him, even though she was a nurse.
Hello?
Hello, beautiful.
All right. Saturday night, y'all. We're getting warmed up. I'm showing you the connection between Red Pill, MAGA, conservatives, or people who think they're conservative, and everything else. Here we go.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good. Give me some good lights.
Let's try this.
What's your name, sir?
Let's go with Mike, ma'am.
We're gonna go with, is that your name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mike, where are you calling me from?
I'm from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. How old are you?
39.
39. What you do for a living, Mike?
City worker, currently.
City worker?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is a city worker, making, 40-ish.
Have any kids?
Yes.
How many kids?
5. Are we including grandkids? Are we including grandkids or just kids?
Just the kids your firm created.
5.
He has 5 kids. Wonderful. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
By how many women, Mike?
By 4.
How old
5 kids by 4 women. Just keep it going.
are your 5 kids, Mike?
Let's go with 21, 16, 10, 9, and 9.
21, 16, 10, 9, and 9. And 9 and 9 got 2 different mamas?
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds like a loyal man to me. Let's keep it going.
So Mike, have you ever been married?
No, ma'am.
Mike,
Never been married. Wow. You know, this high value man right here, he's on a roll. 5 kids, 4 broken homes. Yeah, he's on a straight up roll. He is on a roll. Here we go.
4, you got 5 kids by 4 women. None of these women were worthy for you to settle down with.
Started young, so I wasn't even ready to be settled down with. Let's say that. I wasn't ready to be settled down.
So basically, he had no problem making kids. But in retrospect, you know, he knew he wasn't a father. So he's a sperm donor. Welcome to the stage, Deontay. How you doing tonight?
Doing all right, DJ. How you doing?
Oh, just kind of chilling, my man, you know. Now, I'm limited to 2 hours because I want to make some clips out of this. Yeah, so what do you think about this gentleman so far?
Well, like a lot of men in his situation who started having children young, men and women, sex is a powerful drug. You know what I'm saying? Like when you hear people say that they wasn't ready, but they obviously did everything it took. It's like Harry Potter. You know, you done said the whole magical spell, you done waved your wand, but when it's over, you can't handle what comes out the tip of that bad boy. Chaos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's what happens. The only thing you can really hope for is that they end up maturing over the next decade, from the moment their child is born to their child getting to their early preteen, 10, 11 years old, that the parent, both of them have matured into at least good parents if they wasn't ready. But it's too much of that though, where they just playing, you know?
Right. I mean, you would think it's like this. The term "you should have chose better," I mean, that should be used for decisions in situations like this too, where he should have chose to wear a condom or he should have chose not to have sex with somebody who did, who unprotected. He basically obviously is not, he's got 5 kids with 4 women. The math is going to be bad. You just know the math is going to be bad. He's not rich. He's far from it. So really, quite honestly, I don't even know what he's doing on this show, because basically he really doesn't have the money. If he was to meet the woman, and we're going to find out here in a minute what kind of woman he wants. If he was to meet really any woman that was looking for just basic needs, he wouldn't be able to provide. He's got 4 kids, 5 kids, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. Shout out to Cyber Dreams, Jizzy B, Tevin, and King Sigma in the house. Here we go.
When did you become ready to settle down?
I'm gonna say at least 35, around 35.
So around 35, you was serious.
Yes, ma'am.
So up until then, you was just out here with it. Now,
He's a hoe. He's a hoe.
But you see, that's the crazy part, because that, if you a man trying to establish yourself, right, that sounds about right, except for the fact that he already had 5 kids. If he would have said, I don't have any children, or maybe I got one child from before I was 22, I was just deep in the sauce and couldn't handle it, I was a kid. Okay, and then I established myself. Now I'm 35 and I'm ready to settle down. Now that sounds a lot better. But you telling people you ready to settle down, you 35, you taking dating seriously now, and you got 5 kids with 4 different women. It's like, dude, you know, come on now. But you see,
He's literally doing too much.
yeah, but you see, it's a difference. See, men get away with this a whole lot, like a whole lot more than women do. And I think one because it's just a natural thing, like for men to it's naturally just more accepted for men to go out and have multiple children and spread the seed, all that other stuff. And obviously, it's more of a natural taboo for women to be having lots of children with lots of different men. So I think that's why a lot of women accept guys who have multiple kids with multiple women more than like a guy would accept a woman who's in the same situation. That's why he don't feel no shame coming on here saying he got
Right.
kids and
I
grandkids.
agree. I agree because his buddies have the same situation, are in the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, you know you would be judged if you was a woman.
I should be judged as a man, to be
I
honest.
was gonna say, now some women will judge you, but the reality is you will potentially still get a woman even with that resume. Whereas if it was a woman, it would be a lot more difficult. But the rules should be the same. I'm happy you feel as though you.
Yeah, I mean, she's right. It's the hypocrisy of red pill.
Well, I think it's beyond red pill. I think that that's why I said naturally. I think this is something that all cultures and races understand at the end of the day. I mean, like men going out having a bunch of children, like with a bunch of different women, even if it's out of wedlock, is never going to be looked down upon the same way as a woman doing the same thing.
Right. That's true.
You should be judged with that resume.
I think anybody should, no matter sex or, but you can't judge a person by. I mean, I guess you could.
Now he doesn't want to be judged. He wants to have all them kids, have all that fun, and now he doesn't want to be judged. Okay.
Judge. I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't judge a person by, but it shouldn't be permanent.
All right, well let's keep seeing what you got going on. Mike, do you believe in zodiac signs?
Yes.
What's your zodiac sign? Libra. So we got Mike, Oklahoma, 39, city worker, is a Libra. Dad of 2 kids. No, excuse me, dad of 5 kids.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me get my 5 kids by 4 women, never married. What kind of woman are you looking for, Mike?
Looking for a partner. Let me say that. Let me say a partner. That knows what she wants at this age or around her age. And we are not lying Libras. I see that. We're not lying. Not all Libras are lying.
Knows what she wants. Okay. That's it?
Yes, yeah, for the most part, I'm not really one of those picky guys, man. Like, you like what you, I like what I like type of thing.
Do you want her to be in Oklahoma?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
She don't gotta be in Oklahoma. Okay. So Mike, Oklahoma, 39, city worker. What are your deal breakers?
My deal breakers, just unsure of what she wants out of life. Let me say that, unsure. As long as you got some type of direction, I can work with that. But if you just have
Wait a minute. A man who's lived his life with no direction, now he wants something that he's never been able to provide himself or anyone else in his life. This is crazy.
What you want, then I'm kind of, it's kind of hard.
Okay. Should she look a certain way?
No, not picky. Not necessarily picky.
Okay. Should she make a certain amount of money?
No, ma'am. Yeah, I'm good on that part. No, ma'am.
You're good on money. Okay. Let's do the Kendrick Cam.
So he's obviously not looking for a relationship because he doesn't have enough money to, take care of a woman that he would be with because he's only a city worker. And if he's monitoring his responsibilities and paying child support for 5 children, well, I can tell you that probably it would be his monthly paycheck.
Let's see. Where's your lighting? There you go. My Grinch outfit.
Okay.
Thank you.
Look like you got a fresh outfit on. All right.
call it fresh, but yes, ma'am. Comfortable. Say comfortable.
Mike, when was your last relationship?
2021.
All right. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
About a month ago.
Is she an option?
Excuse me. Oh, nah.
Why not?
Nah.
What's wrong with her?
Because it was a he. No, I'm just kidding.
We're cool. We're cool as friends, companions.
Okay. But you can still sleep with her.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
That works. Okay.
So remember now, he said he's ready to settle down, but with his last sexual partner, he didn't settle down.
Mike, 3 flaws you have to work on.
Over trusting individuals. My attitude about a lot of things, and I can't think of a third one. I don't necessarily know a third flag.
You don't know a third flag? You only got 2?
That I know of. That's my opinion. Now, me personally, I couldn't think of anything else right off the top of my head.
Longest committed relationship you've been with a woman where you only slept with her and only her?
Probably about 15 years. 15.
So you had one woman that you were faithful to sexually for 15 years?
Yes, ma'am.
And one is your, and it's one of your children's moms?
Yes, ma'am.
Why can't you try to get married? Not saying that's the only thing that matters, but if you were locked into her for 15 years, what was the stopping y'all to get married?
Right. She gave him 2 children and hung it out with this dude for 15 years. Let's find out why this is. Deontay, you have any thoughts?
Yeah, when I see stuff like that, and we see this a lot in the Black community where people will be together for 10, 15, 20, 30 years and either never get married or wait till they damn near on their deathbed to finally get married. And it's like, when you ask them, hey, what's going on? Y'all done been together for so long. Y'all live together. Y'all got kids together. Why don't y'all get married? Oh, we don't need to get married to validate all that. We just chilling. See, that's really a subconscious way of saying we just playing. And one of us, the guy in that situation, don't want to take it to that because it becomes serious then. And you got to be accountable. Like, when you're not married at any moment, after y'all been together 20 years, you can just do what this dude probably did, just leave, walk out the door. You can't just walk out on the marriage like that. I mean, you physically can, but y'all got too much shit tied into it. Like, I don't get that, man. Plus, he's probably cheating on her like crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Without being as transparent as possible, I have done some time in my life. Let's say that I've been in trouble.
So
let me see where it goes.
15 years of you being faithful, some years and locked up?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How many years of that was locked up?
About 5. Probably 5.
So after 15, he was locked up anyway. So 5 years. He must have done something. They don't give you 5 years for jaywalking.
So 5 of them you couldn't do nothing because you couldn't. Like you was wet.
Yeah.
So you don't really want.
I don't know. It's always a way. There's always a way. But at some point in time, you got
to cheat on me and you in prison. Now that's just how you with the security guard.
Wait, he just gave himself away. Why would you say there's always a way if you didn't cheat?
Yeah, why would you say
you were in
that?
prison?
Now you got people thinking you was in there playing with Tommy and Bubba, man. Like,
there's always a way, right?
Them one of the ladies.
That visitation is different nowadays. It's different.
Oh, visitate. I don't know. I never listen. I'm very.
Oh, he cheated on her in prison.
Ignorant. I don't know how this thing works, but my assumption is if you're in jail, you don't have access to vagina, but that's not true.
You do. You do.
You do. Okay. All right. So out of those 5 years you was locked in, 10 of them you was out in the world and you decided to be locked in.
Yes.
And what was the reason that y'all just couldn't be locked in for like?
Cyber Dreams. I think Fleet Johnson. Yeah, Fleet Johnson was with the Booty Warriors, something like that.
Just be truthful with me. If I gotta come home and find out different things, I'd rather hear it from you. I was always that guy that says it's always us, not them. You know, it's us, not them. We gonna laugh, not them. So I was just basically, she wasn't truthful.
Wait a minute. Okay, so he stayed in a relationship with one person for 15 years. Of that, 5 he was in incarcerated, and then the other 10 years, you know, he's saying he was loyal, but I don't think he was loyal.
She wasn't truthful.
She wasn't truthful. Okay, we'll leave it at that. All right, Mike, why would a woman be lucky to be with you?
Let me make it clear. Anybody with this guy's resume, you're not lucky to be with. Unless you are a homeless woman. That's about it. And even still, I think you're still better off. This is one of my best examples of Pookie in 2025 is right here. This is it right here.
I'm gonna say probably because I pay attention. I pay a lot of attention. Pay attention.
You pay a lot of
To what? You have never mind.
Attention.
Yes, I pay attention. So with that being said, like I'm more of a caterer. I'm a Southern boy, so I'm kind of more of a caterer. I cater.
Okay. You're a caterer. Now, Mike, what's your age range? You're 39.
Yeah, I'm gonna say about 30 to 45-ish.
Okay. Could the woman have kids?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm assuming you don't want any more kids, or am I assuming wrong?
No, you are. You would assume correct.
Okay. Now, are you on the Kendra G Singles dating app?
Not yet.
All right. You got to download the dating app, iPhone and Android phones. We have a brand.
And it says women need to stop being that dang lonely. Yeah. If I would, hey, Angela, I was just playing a little bit of Sonia and Ernesto earlier on this live stream, and you're correct. You are super lonely if you have to go visit a guy who is in prison, especially if they have an extended record.
A new upgraded version to our app and download it, and the woman can reach out to you there.
So that I'm building up into this live stream right here. Let's go ahead and change gears, and let's get a little bit of politicking going on in here. Let's see what other Caucasian men think about racism. Here we go.
So the Supreme Court ruled that Trump's little secret vigilante force can go ahead and just target people based on race and skin color and language. And this is the most pathetic Euro-American DEI program of all time. I mean, white people, you really had to get the military to arrest your job competition? I mean, what happened to hiring the most qualified person? You're that scared? You don't have what it takes?
Oh, he's throwing some fire. And that brings us up to the DEI conversation. And a lot of people don't know this, so I'm going to announce this right now. Who benefited the most from DEI? Deontay, would you wish to take a shot at it?
White women.
Correct. Ding, 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 ding. You are correct. So it's really, and the weird thing is this. So obviously the number one beneficiary of DEI, if it's white women, right? And they date mostly Caucasian men. So wouldn't it be white people that benefited the most from DEI? I mean, I'm going out on a limb, but don't you think that would be it?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
I mean, I'm not trying to sound, like aggressive, but I'm just thinking like, okay, white women are, they are taking advantage of DEI. And by the way, all four of them. That's a lot of Caucasian women deserve the jobs they have. And so they brought along this program that everybody tried to put color on it, right? But it really, it's another program that really is for Caucasian people, made for Caucasian people. And look, there's nothing we can do as the people who, have the least amount of the lowest numbers when it comes to voting and stuff. But at least don't blame us for DEI. That's the problem I have, Deontay, is excuse my language, don't fucking blame us for DEI when y'all are getting all that DEI money. It's either your wife's getting that freaking money. So, and that's a fact. That's the stats. Everybody, even King Sigma knows it's white women, and he loves white women. So basically, if white women are getting all the money, fine. Look, I don't, that's fine. They are a minority technically, right? But the thing is they're taking the money home to white men. So white people get the best advantage of DEI. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. What I don't like is when every time
it was designed that way. So, I'm sorry. No,
every time a black person gets hired for something or a minority gets hired for something, oh, that's DEI. That's why y'all really, I'm almost done, Deontay. Why y'all better be careful with that, because you're literally being not a very nice person for saying that, because you're implicating a group that is not, number one, getting the advantage of DEI. And then two, since you went out of your way to say it, some people can misconstruct that as being discriminatory. I'm being nice to them. I'm being nice to them. I'm trying to spread out my swear words. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm going to bring to the stage, the one, the only Miss Stop the Cap.
Hey, Torch. Hey,
How you doing tonight?
Dante, is it Deontay?
Deontay, yeah.
Deontay. I'm gonna go on mute after I say this because I'm gonna get my headphones after this. They wasn't complaining about DEI until that Supreme Court justice was sworn in. It's not the fact that it's jobs in its entirety. It's the certain positions of power they have a problem with, because there's a lot of CEOs that are black. There are a lot of bosses that are black in power. Look at have you guys took the chance to look at all of the chief fire people? Some of them are black. There's a lot of mayors that are black. There's some fire chiefs that are, police chiefs that are black. It's not the point of just jobs in its, just the simple jobs. It's the certain positions of power they have a problem with.
Well said. Dang well said. Henry Mars breaks it down perfectly by saying 300,000 black women have lost their jobs. Oh, what a coincidence. I wonder how. I wonder why. Of black wealth, a lot of black wealth is lost. Where's the outrage of those black first people? And that makes a lot of sense, because where is King Sigma's outrage that, a lot of black wealth just went out the window because, somebody's letting them, let's put it this way, somebody's getting them the green light to do what they're doing. That's what's going down. And hey, and look at the correlation. If you're exercising DEI and it benefits Caucasian women, who's got to go? So here's the ironic thing about DEI. Maybe it's literally reverse DEI. From a point of view, what I'm saying is this. To give all these Caucasian women ain't taking no man's job. No. Whose job is left?
Well, I throw this in there too, Torch. They don't talk about all the foreigners who benefit from DEI.
Right.
All
Exactly.
these Asian doctors and dentists and stuff like that.
Very well said.
To make it in this job market, you needed troops armed for war to give you that step up. I mean, I guess, I don't know, whenever I see another white person doing anything, I hate to admit this, but I do wonder, like, is that DEI? I mean, can that guy really be trusted in a position of authority? I mean, because look at their track record. Look at who the majority of whites pick as their leaders. The most incompetent, drug-addled, cringeworthy arch villains. I mean, have you guys not read a comic book or watched a movie? I mean, Hollywood, we tried really hard to dumb it so far down for you. When you plaster an angry, goofy president's face on buildings looming over a militarized police state, that's not the good guys. Oh man, I mean, it really is a culture problem. Last few years, it's just gone downhill ever since the Anglos invaded the Spanish colony. Ay, mi madre. Oh my God, did you not realize Spain was here a whole half century before the British founded those 13 little colonies? Oh yeah, way back in the 1500s. I know this is why you hate American history so much, but it's Spain, a Spanish-speaking country. That's who invented Florida, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, Spain, who built the first European settlements across the West and Gulf coasts. Not only were they here first, but they lasted decades longer than this little British spinoff has lasted so far. It's not looking good, guys. Anyway, that's why most of these states have Spanish and native names, because the Spanish were illegal invaders first, who also broke every treaty on their merry marauding way. But anyway, we'll get more into the language thing later. Main point being that white America, you did not invent this place, you hijacked it from other thieves. And most of you don't speak English either, not above a 4th grade level. So when are you going back to where you came from?
Ooh, man, he's throwing some smoke. He's throwing some smoke. Ooh. Man, I hope he's I hope he's in a secure area for real, you know what I mean? But I don't know about you, but I think he's hit on some points. What do y'all think? Henry Mars says, I would have expected the Omar Johnsons of the world to complain about the massive loss of income, right, from the Black communities. Well said. Well said. Let me see if I have, you know something? Let's get right into it. Let's break it down right now. Here we go.
Let's talk about text messages now. They're released, I won't call it unprecedented, but
So just to break it down, thank you, Indisputable. This is the person who deleted the late Charlie Kirk. I don't believe he should have been deleted at all. I don't believe in that, oh, he's got to go kind of thing. But at least my opinion and my research leads me to say that Charlie Kirk, he said a lot of mean things. He said a lot of mean things. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, Deontay, you there?
Yeah, that's my bad. My phone was on.
Oh, I thought my system kicked you out again.
Oh no, this was, I don't know where it was my service, man. But
You
yeah,
know,
I'm
the
back.
mainstream media is not really talking about this guy, the shooter.
Mm-mm.
They're trying to paint it as if he had some type of left liberal ideology, but maybe he did, but his background is conservative Republican. You know, I think they're just trying to pass the blame over to somebody.
That is correct. In
You know,
fact,
they put Antifa now as a hate terrorist group now.
yeah.
I
Let's
think
see what
we
you
should,
got.
as Black people, we should not get caught up in the propaganda Kool-Aid.
I agree. I think we should just wait for the smoke to clear up on this one. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Torch, did you hear about this lady that she's going around getting people fired, like regular people, if they talk against Mr. Kirk?
Yeah, I haven't heard specifically of that, but I know there's a Kirk Gestapo out there.
Mm-hmm.
There definitely is that, and it's weird because I know they understand why people are saying something, and it's funny because Mr. Kirk had no problem saying some very disparaging thing about some passed away Black folks.
Mm-hmm.
Had no problem saying that. And a lot of people, they need to take heed to that. They need to at least look into say, okay, I see what you mean. I mean, he was talking smack about MLK and some other people, you know, and just like Kevin Samuels was talking smack about Eartha Kitt and how, you know, red pill black men were like, oh, don't you talk about Kevin Samuels, even though he was literally talking about a legend, Eartha Kitt, a legend, using a Grinch to represent her. They had no problem with that.
So I have a question then. So if you apply foresight to this situation, what is the end game? Because Mr. Kirk, he had a lot. He infiltrated the college students' minds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the plan for the future? Because I read a book called One Nation Under God, right? And you can see in this book that religion took over politics, it took over corporations, and these are powerful people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they cloak themselves with the mantle of religion. I think this is just I think this is just smoke, like how you say that, a dog whistle, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes straight out of the Communist Manifesto, where you kill your own. I'm sorry, can you say that word on YouTube?
That it's okay because you're saying it in the right context, but you delete or something like that, you know.
Okay, right.
Or,
you know, I'm not
you
a
know.
YouTube person like that, but
I feel you.
you unalive your own for another means. So this is what this is.
Right. I think this the Charlie Kirk deleter, I think he just didn't think Charlie Kirk went in hard enough on other races of people. That's what he didn't see. The thing is that Charlie, he wasn't as nutty enough. That's what this deleter thought, is Charlie Kirk wasn't going in hard enough. He wanted some of that. He wanted some more. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, CK, let's just call him CK, pretty mean to other people.
Yeah, he started to. If you study his beginnings, right? He was right wing theologian by the Bible book, straight down the line. And then
Right.
something switched in Charlie, where he started talking about the little hats. He started to talk about corruption in the government. He started talking about the rainbow community very, very heavily.
Mm.
And then he also added in Black people.
Right.
My question to myself is I ask myself, what did Charlie Kirk represent, and who was he a threat to? Nobody can answer that question.
That's a good point.
When you find out who he was a threat to, then you can find out what is the plan of action these people have in plan for us. Because don't get it twisted. This is a plan. And Black people need to understand to shut your ass up. Nobody else is talking but your dumbasses. And you don't have any facts. You don't have the story straight. Why are you not investigating this young man who was the supposed shooter?
Right.
You notice that they're just going back on Charlie Kirk. The man is resting in peace.
Right.
That's not really important, but it's important. But the important thing is, who is this guy on the screen?
Let's find out. Here we go.
Real big number in detail. Text messages from Charlie Kirk shooting suspect. I mean, it's quite a read early on in an investigation, but they wanted it out there, the authorities investigating this. And so here are the new updates surfacing about the Charlie Kirk shooting suspect. Included text messages. Prosecutors say the shooting suspect exchanged with his roommate. We'll run through. Charlie Kirk's suspected killer, Tyler Robinson, allegedly texted his roommate the day of the shooting. He discussed his rifle, a possible motive, and other details on the planning surrounding the event. This is all according to charging documents released by Utah County officials. Robinson's roommate told police about a note left by Robinson under the keyboard, which read, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Police say they found a photo of the note. Axios with the reporting here. In the court filing, prosecutors described the roommate as a biological male who was involved in a romantic relationship with Robinson. Robinson's roommate provided their text messages to police, according to documents.
So basically, they're saying that, this guy liked biological males.
Well, that's what I heard. I'm sorry, I heard that as well. Well, yeah, he definitely did it by himself, but it was that they were saying that his friend was actually like his boyfriend, this guy, right? But the guy is transgendering into a female. So he's doing the transgender female thing, but him and the shooter were still like in love with each other. So basically his family, they're in Utah. His family is very MAGA, very, right-wing conservative Republicans.
Right.
And he's 22, he's a kid, and he's liberal. And the only reason he became so liberal was because
what makes you think he's liberal?
That's what his family said. They said the last few years he's become very political and going toward the left. And they say because they were the ones that convinced him to turn himself in. And because he's not really speaking, he's not. That's why you don't hear anything about him because he's not talking. Like he never came out and said that he was gay or anything. But these are just what they're gathering from the interviews with the friend, with the family, and the text and all the other stuff they had. So basically, he was really, if he really did this and it wasn't like some conspiracy setup, he was just a random lunatic in this world who got so pissed off at this guy Charlie and couldn't believe that he was actually coming to speak in his town, and he took the opportunity and killed him.
I agree with that.
It's terrible, but it's like it's almost like how
The people
Quite
are using
honestly,
it.
though, at least I've heard another theory that basically what he thought Charlie Kirk was not, he was softening up. Now, I don't know how he thought that, but that was the other thing. Let's listen to the rest of this, because I understand that they were saying that that certain news, now let me break this down. Certain news stations were saying what you just said, Deontay, but that's starting to kind of crumble a little bit, that theory.
It's crazy that you say that. I was on a phone call with somebody and I mentioned that sentiment. I said, because they showed, Charlie Kirk had this big network, right? And they were saying, oh, when are you going to let us go and unalive these people? We are ready. We got our guns ready. We are ready. So when you said that he was softening up, it makes sense that a sociopath would say, well, this guy he's not our true leader because he's not giving us the green light to do what we want to do.
Oh, and Henry broke it perfectly. He was part of Nick Fuente's Griper team. Henry, was that Charlie or the shooter? Let us know, definitely. But see, that's what I'm hearing. And you brought up a good point, because yeah, I mean, it's like he's ready to go. Charlie's like probably saying some stuff in the background or in back channel saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do something real bad to this group or that group," because you got to have a target. It could have been anybody. It could have been, I don't know, some pandas. They don't care. They just need a target that implicates somebody else, and a reason, and it's not them why shit is shitty in their lives. But yeah, so let me play a little bit more and then we'll conversate.
And let's pull them up for you. As I said, it's quite a read. Here's what those text messages said according to the documents released. I'm still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I'd hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. You weren't the one who did it, right? I am. I'm sorry. I thought they caught the person. No. They grabbed some crazy old dude and interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. Why did I do it? I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. I'm going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully, they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. Delete this exchange. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of that rifle, and it's very unique. He's calling me right now, not answering.
Damn.
Since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. More from the federal criminal information filed in U.S. District Court in Utah. I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriff. You are all I worry about, love. I'm much more worried about you. Don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. Now, Robinson, those his purported text exchanges with his roommate and perhaps partner, is facing multiple charges. Tyler Robinson, age 22, has also been.
That sounds weird because he's saying that his parents turned more MAGA when I guess Trump recently got in office, or in and out of office, or because this is a lot to really.
They got more power. Think about it. Like, since Trump got elected that second time, it was an overswell of confidence and public outpouring, not outpouring, but public bravado for that right wing conservative space. You know, like, and they felt safe now to be able to come out and say how they really feel publicly about things.
Oh, I see
Same
what
way
you're saying.
liberals did back when Barack and Biden was in office, and the LGBTQ and the women's movement, all that stuff became like where they felt like I could just say this to anybody anywhere, you know. So now it's just their turn with it because this is the way the wave is going.
So what you're saying
know?
is that they secretly always thought that way, but now they feel more comfortable of coming out more, even at the dinner
And
table.
it'll turn, yeah, especially at the dinner table where, think about it, I'm not feeling sorry for this boy, but I can't understand how his mindset was bred where every day he's dealing with a family and a community, his whole city, hell, his whole state is Trump and conservative, and they're not going for, and religious, and they're not going for all of that transgender LGBTQ that he's falling into. Now, I think it's ironic that he used the skills that they taught him as a hunter.
Here's one thing I have to bring up, though. Just because somebody is transgender doesn't mean they're Democrats. In fact, let me make that point right now.
I really feel like if we do not, if Trump does not get in, I think that's the end of the country. I think it's.
Y'all know who that is?
Is that guy, the Kardashian husband?
He was once the man's man in the world, man. He was once the every man's man. Yep. Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
See, what I don't like about it, Torch, is this situation. They're trying to make it a black and white thing.
Right. They're
Why?
trying
Why?
hard.
Because black people 90% are Democrats. Like I don't understand why it's a black and white thing, and they're not just talking about these sociopaths that's die hard for these political their political gods. Tell the truth. It has nothing to do with black people or white people. This was just a sociopath.
You know what a good example is remember when Tupac and Biggie passed away?
Yeah.
It wasn't. Let's face it. It wasn't one of their direct crew. In fact, they were probably making more money off of their so-called, their so-called, what word do I want here? Beef. There you go. Then they weren't. So they were probably like, well, I don't care if, they're just thinking probably just back then, what I think Tupac and Biggie were saying is like, hey, look, people like these beef tracks. Let's throw out a couple beefs. I'll talk some crap. You talk some crap, and we'll all be good. But it was probably some loon, some crazy fool that just said, "Oh yeah, you want to play that with Biggie? You see what I'm saying? The same thing is going on here. The same thing is going on here. This guy is not a Dem. He's something else. Let's just put it that way.
And another thing, towards you, if they love Kirk so much, why he didn't have a security team?
Right.
Oh no, see, that's the thing. If you watch Kirk's videos, he's got guys wearing blazers surrounding him in that little tent on the outskirts, and they got the little earpieces in. They just didn't think, so they were up close ready for somebody to rushing.
Right.
They didn't think nobody was going to try to assassinate him and shoot him from a faraway target like that.
Right.
Like, it's just, I think that's what scared most of the people, though. Even Democrats and liberals who didn't agree with him. This is why they said you can't be celebrating his death, because they know the same thing could happen to me.
Right.
But Deontay, but that's kind of weird because the history since the 60s, this is how people get dealt with from far away with high power rifles.
You're right.
In fact, we got an expert right on this on the channel.
This is the pattern,
Mm-hmm.
I think we have
if you remember Bobby Kennedy, I was going to say, if you remember Bobby Kennedy, that was up close and personal. Sirhan got him with a pistol up close and personal when Kennedy reached to shake his hand.
Wait, I thought that
Gerald,
Kennedy was in a car.
You're
No, that
thinking of
was
his brother,
John.
the
Bobby was in the
president.
50s.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm talking about two different Kennedys.
yeah. There was John F. Kennedy was allegedly, well, officially assassinated by Oswald, and his brother was assassinated about 5 years later in '68, around the same time Dr. King was assassinated.
Dang.
But that one pistol doesn't trump all the other patterns of high power rifles from long distance.
Right.
Well, then we could go Gerald Ford. What was her name? Squeaky Fromm, or something like that. It was she was part of the Manson cult. She walked up on Gerald Ford and tried to assassinate him with a pistol.
Ronald Reagan was up close.
Yeah, Ronald Reagan. That was
But
another.
all three of
close
those
one.
people lived. We talking about the ones who were unalive. All three of
Well,
those
no.
people lived.
No, Kennedy died. Bobby died.
He died, right?
Yeah,
He
but
didn't
think
die
about
right.
it. Like I know what you're saying though, because this is what I think is going on. Remember when the pandemic happened and they brought the soldiers in the streets in those major cities? A lot of people
What happened?
say 40 years old and younger, especially 20 and younger. They had no idea. Remember when they brought the National Guard to some of those cities during the pandemic? And
yeah,
a lot of people didn't think that kind of stuff was possible in today's era. Because they said, oh, that stuff was old back in the 60s, 70s, 90s, right? They wouldn't do that now. Yes, they will. And see, this is what's happening now. Our generations that are 40, 30, and younger, they're not used to this political violent climate. If you are DJ Torch, you might remember this. If you grew up in the 60s and 70s, or at least were born during that time, there were dozens.
Man, he was saying some good shit, and then
Yeah, dang.
man, get off McDonald's Wi-Fi, man. Go get you some Spectrum.
She said McDonald's Wi-Fi.
Okay, he's back. But no, okay, King Sigma says just a rifle, ha. There's no such thing as a high-powered rifle. That's not true. Sorry. Sorry, King. You're gonna have to clear that up. You're gonna clear that up because there is a difference. Okay. There are some rifles, some sniper rifles the size of a 50 caliber. So I'm sorry, that ain't gonna work.
If I had a penis, he would agree with me. He's an incel, so.
I was just going to say, I mean, the rifle I'm holding in that photo, that's a 50 caliber rifle.
Right.
That's a high power rifle. It's used to shoot engine blocks.
Straight up. Some rifles, they're gonna just bounce off the the grill or something. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what made him say that. I don't know what made.
Because I said it, and I don't own a penis.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the Japanese,
I have access to one, but
I think the Japanese they made the most powerful sniper rifle, I believe, to date. I mean, it was used years ago, like during World War II, but they had a 20 caliber sniper.
King.
Sorry.
Darnell,
20 millimeter sniper rifle. Sorry.
Darnell, you seen the gun that they got out the woods? Now look at King Sigma's message. Like you gotta get off the propaganda liquor, man.
Yeah, as I'm learning.
So Darnell, let me ask you this: what does it take a person to hit a target spot on in the area Kirk got hit from 200 plus yards away? What does it take?
Good fundamentals, aim, center, mass, which is your heart. A lot of people go for the headshots and stuff. You don't want to do that because you have a tendency to miss. But you need good fundamentals. Never jerk the trigger. Slow, steady pull. And a lot of people have a tendency to wrap their finger inside the trigger well. You don't want to do that. You want to use the fingertip, the meaty portion of your fingertip. Because if you wrap your finger around the trigger, what happens is you have a tendency to pull the rifle. So that's why you use the meaty portion. And breath control is key. So you breathe in before you take the shot. You breathe in, hold it for a second, and you exhale. On the exhale, when you exhale, your body is like at the most still moment it can be. Slowly, you slowly pull the trigger. Don't squeeze it. You slowly pull it. Or I'm sorry, I said it backwards. You slowly squeeze the trigger. Don't jerk it. You slowly squeeze on the exhale. Again, you want to be nice and calm. Breathe in, breathe out, and slow, steady pull.
Let's jump into the groypers. Well said, Darnell. Let's see what's going on here with the groypers. Here we go.
Conservatives have done everything in their power to make this shooter to be a left-winger, and their case in point evidence, their exhibit A, if you would, is the possibility that Tyler Robinson had a roommate and a relationship with a trans individual, as if that is something that is only germane to the left in this country.
Now, remember, I just showed you one of the red pill darlings is transgender.
Never mind all of the other evidence that shows that he was in circles and in activities, dressing up like a Pepe meme, the frog, that is all much deeper associated with the right than it was ever associated with the left in this country. Never mind the growing up in a deep conservative culture. And it sounds like that he went even deeper into conservative culture, which then goes way beyond your traditional mainstream conservatism and into the world of groypers. And we have heard all weekend that this shooter must have been a leftist because of his trans relationship. But I want you to listen to this video as they explain that, in fact, if they had a trans girlfriend, they are far more likely, Tyler Robinson is far more likely to have been a groyper, because that is in the culture of the groypers. It is a subculture of men who hate women so much
that they would
absolutely prefer being with, and they are encouraged to be with, either a femboy or a trans girl.
It reminds you of the history of the Roman Empire.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they did, and they were like ruthless savages, like barbaric murderers.
Yeah. But this is what it reminds me of right here. This is what it reminds me. I want to play it. Where is it at? What did I do with it? You got to be kidding me. Oh, here we go.
Let's get right into it. Let's get right into it.
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming and you...
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men. I understand the impulse, brothers. I do. But our women are not showing us. I don't care what they say. What are the women showing?
Well. You know what? I'm going to let you all listen to that again.
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming and you...
All these conversations have been so good and refreshing, except for, that one.
But our women are not showing us.
Can I say something?
I don't care what they say. What are the women showing?
Can I say something?
I thought I'd just play that for a little bit. That's basically the Groyper. That's basically the Groyper crew. And that's why Kevin, I mean, I'm telling you, a lot of people, they're the red pill, the black red pill, the Groypers, they're all one family to me.
And let me add to that. So we sticking on topic, right, Torch? This is why the birth rate is so low, right? They're not talking about blacks. They're talking about the white birth rate is so low because so many of these males are homosexual.
Let's play a little bit more. Here we go.
I want you to hear that. I want you to think about that. They hate women so much that they would never want to be even in a relationship. They can't talk to women. They can't relate to women.
I mean, think about it. He's talking about Groypers, who is mostly a Caucasian group of men, right? But it sounds so much like, Kevin Samuelites, Red Pill. I mean, it sounds identical.
Because they hate them so much. And so this makes it that much more likely that Tyler Robinson was, in fact, a Groyper, part of Nick Fuentes' coalition. Take a listen in.
If this kid's girlfriend turns out to be trans, that only strengthens the argument that he is a Groyper, because there is a subculture in there that loves femboys. And this is part of how they deal with their homophobia, their transphobia, and all the things they feel super ashamed of by being in the MAGA cult or a religious cult like the Mormon cult. So I'm going to show you this video to explain further what I'm talking about. Then I'm going to talk a little more.
Shooter turns out to have a feminine boyfriend that strengthens the Groyper speculations. They are obsessed with femboys. Oh man, the chronically online wokeness is paying off. There exists.
Our red pill black men,
Yes, that's crazy that these men piggyback off the, can we say white supremacist ideology?
Yes. Yeah, that's very accurate. They just have the only difference is the target of their their bigotry. That's the only difference.
A subsection of incels who are so celibate and hateful and fearful of women that they groom other incels into feminizing themselves for the sake of the cause. They call themselves operators and cosplay as characters like Ghost from Call of Duty and other very, very militarized characters in gear just to take that gear off and then being all ooh or oh whoa, hey, look at that. To be more specific, because I know a lot of you are actually looking for information, they wear military cosplays, but underneath those cosplays are like lingerie and knee-high socks. There's even a subsection of femcel who does the same thing, and the Groypers hate them. People are just now finding out that there exists a whole subsection of alt-right that genuinely views MAGA, the Make America Great Again movement, as liberal. And you're not even in the pipeline yet. You're looking.
Wow. So they're so far hard right that even MAGA is soft to them.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
They want to destroy.
Yeah, see, and that was an interesting point you just said right there. That, so hard right. Like, I view the spectrum. Most people view it as a straight line, liberal and conservative, but I view it as a circle. So that extreme side, you have extreme liberals, then you got extreme conservatives. They're actually one and the same.
Right.
They just don't know it. Literally, they literally just don't know it. Both of them will be anti-government. And again, I'm talking about extremists here, not any particular whether it's liberal or conservative, I'm talking about the extremists of both wings.
Right.
Those are the guys that are typically doing the terrorist acts or the random acts of violence and things of that nature, and then you also have the moderates, which you have the moderates, and then you got the people that kind of swing on the pendulum a little bit,
Right.
which that's not too bad, but it's when you start becoming the extremists, that's the bad part, and
I like that
you'll see
circle
it
you
in,
said though.
yes. Oh, absolutely.
So the circle is a never-ending cycle. They can go from one end to the next at the flip of certain words. Like, look at now that I know about. I just learned about this just now, Torch. Thank you for enlightening me. Nick Fuentes is this. Because on one hand, and when he gets interviewed by Candace Owens, he's saying, yeah, he's looking for a wife, he's doing this, he's doing that. But then he has the same sentiments of a man who wants a femboy, because he's a proclaimed virgin.
Right. That's true.
So what happens to a male who is forced semen retention and he doesn't have an outlet? Where did he go?
Boom.
Your prostate gets larger.
I'm just saying, like, they have some men that practice semen retention, but they put their energy into building companies that, they use that energy into other things. But these incels aren't using that energy into nothing else. Employment is at an all-time low for these males. They're not going to college, these males. What do?
Right.
Well,
when they got got all that built up stuff.
I think it depends on which males you're talking about. If you're talking black males, then yes, unemployment is. Last I checked, they estimate unemployment to be, I think it's 7.5% for black males.
Oh no, but it's for the young white male too.
No, the white males, their unemployment rates are still considered normal, about 4.5%.
But you got to understand we are black males only 6% of the population. So
yes,
if the larger population are white males and their percentage is a certain number, that's catastrophic for them, because they're the ones getting on national TV talk about the immigrants are taking our jobs. We need this, we need that. Stop the DEI because they're taking our jobs. They wouldn't be saying this if they were not working.
That's a good point. If they were getting already what they wanted to get, what they feel, I understand what Darnell is saying, but I also understand what Stop the Cap is saying, because think about it. If I believe this, if Caucasian men were happy with their situation now, Trump wouldn't even be a factor. They wouldn't even know who he was. So
look at the thing, Jason, what's his name? Peterson, something. What's that guy that go around talking?
Yeah,
Jordan Peterson. He said this about the white male population.
Let me play this mix. Here we go.
All right, guys. So Madison Cawthorn, this story came out a few days ago, and it was
and this right here, ladies and gentlemen, really, really sells the Groyper theory. This guy right here, Madison Cawthorn, before he got caught doing this thing, I don't know what it is. Believe it or not, I truly feel that CK was the replacement for Madison Cawthorn. Some younger guy who could probably be like, one of those guys, a college, in a college fraternity to recruit younger men. Not just Caucasian men, red pill black men as well. because they think exactly the same.
I think as far as red pill black men, I think they're being used.
Me too.
Like when you think about it, like I forget the name of that guy, but he's building that whites only community in Arkansas, somewhere in Arkansas. The Hodge twins, which they're black conservatives, they're part of the red pill or semi, I don't know, but basically, they talk about black women, they talk about blacks in general. Anyway, they wrote that guy asking to, hey, we're not like, those other blacks, can we get in your community? And he tweeted, God bless the Hodge twins, but sorry, no.
See, but I view the black sector as just residual. They're not the base. They're not the profit.
Mm-mm.
The profit is these young white men.
Right, but when you think about it, right, what's the best way to destroy, a group? Is it from the outside or to infiltrate? You get, you pay people. Let's say I'm just going to pick on Candace Owens, here, because let's face it, she's a grifter. But Candace Owens, for example, you paid her like she was part of Dennis Prager's group. She was with what's his name? Ben Shapiro. She's been part of this space for so long, and she, in my opinion, was used to infiltrate.
See, but
she's
the black male sector, their
articulate.
only target, not to cut you off, is black women. That plays into white supremacy. Remember, was it Forbes or whatever, or what was that? JP Morgan put that article out that they was going to give black women all this money for businesses and stuff like that.
$5 billion.
Right? These men that are from the foundation of this Groper situation hate black women more than anything. Because it's black women that is the competition to them, not black males.
My opinion, I think they just want to, eventually sow the seeds to exterminate us all. Remember, you kill the black males off, black women are still around. If you still procreate with a black woman, you're still going to end up with a child that's considered black. So that's why I'm saying it's like, I think that they're going to try to eventually, kill off, both genders. I think regardless of gender, I don't think they care. They're afraid, of replacement theory.
Oh, that does run into something that what's his name thinks. We just had him on here.
This is what the Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, Fuentes, which is funny because he's not quite as white as he thinks he is.
No,
like
that's the funny part. Yeah, he's like
part Spanish, I think.
He's like Spanish and French or Spanish and something else. I don't even think. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can be Caucasian and be Spanish. Shout out to Indiana Mom, but it's just kind of weird that he doesn't understand. It's kind of like those MAGA people from where are they from Cuba? We're getting kicked back into Cuba. We're literally getting. It's kind of he might run into that situation if he doesn't watch himself. But basically, Madison is a groyper. But you know what I'm going to probably do, y'all? I'm going to do a part 2 tomorrow.
You have a video on this guy?
Yeah, because the reason why I'm saying that is because he looks like, I think he's a good 15, 20 minute just by himself, because the reason why is because he was a I won't say was because he's still around, but he is he was going to be he is exactly, let's put it this way. He is exactly what they wanted Charlie to be. He is exactly what they wanted, but he kind of like the real him, the real Groyper came out, and they couldn't sell that on TV, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
He's on here wearing a dress or whatever, looking all feminine and I don't care, but a lot of other people do. So,
That's the
but I'm going to say
circle
that.
Darnell was talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we got to have a Groyper part 2, and then I'm going to bring in how the similarities between the Kevin Samuel lights and the Groypers, and then I still got a lot more. I got like it's getting late and people are getting to party, so I don't want to keep everybody up late. So yeah, that's what's going to go down. I'll set up a part 2 for tomorrow. We're going to start off with Madison. We're just going to jump right into it. So. If y'all can make it tomorrow, great. I understand if you can't because, it is Sunday. People are playing football. So
I'll make sure I'm here because this sounds like it's going to be pretty good. Matter of fact, there's somebody you should. I should send you the link. I forget the guy's name, but he helped get Richard Nixon elected and implemented the Southern strategy. He did a seminar way back in the 80s where he spoke how he implemented the Southern strategy. He turned literal racism, hating blacks and to kill the blacks and all this other stuff he literally did what these modern Groypers and conservatives are doing today, where they're changing the narrative. So instead of saying kill, unalive all the minorities and stuff, and using the N-word, let's change the narrative to, well, what about states' rights? What about forced busing? Yeah, literally. I'll try to send you, if I'm gonna try to find the link, I'm gonna try to send it to you. It's on the internet though. It's on YouTube. But yeah, he worked on the Richard Nixon campaign, and he tells you exactly what he did, and the Groypers are doing the same exact playbook.
All right. Anybody want to say any last words before we head out for the night?
I just want to. There's one thing I do want to say. Regardless, I am not a huge fan of Charlie Kirk. Honestly, I really, until his assassination, I didn't really know exactly who he was. I know more about him after his assassination than I do when he was alive. But just want to say, want to remind everyone that despite whether you agree with his politics or not, or like who he was, remember that he still was a father. He had a 3-year-old daughter. He was a husband, and he was someone's son. So, just to make sure that, listeners out there understand, you shouldn't celebrate the man's death or anything of that nature. I mean, it's okay to say, hey, man, I don't agree with his politics, with what he says and things of that nature, but we just got to make sure that, we, show, hey, our humanity and some compassion. Try to have compassion at least, for his daughter. His daughter's 3 years old.
I only wish that he had some compassion for MLK.
I do too.
So
I do too.
Okay, great words, Darnell. Stop the cat. What do you think?
I can't really say anything after Darnell came up here with his preacher tone, and Darnell sent us home. So
yeah, okay. Everybody, I want everyone to have a good night. Let me kick the beat. What do I want to spend tonight? Something. Let me go ahead and go with this again. Here we go. say that. Okay. That's a jam though.
Yeah,
Okay.
this one's for the queens.
All right. This is by Ghost, by the way.
Holding on to their dreams.
I hope everybody enjoyed the show.
We don't chase
Ghost is going to
broke
take
boys
us out.
with toxic lies. We rise above. Love real, no disguise. Yeah.
Shout out to Indiana Mom, Ghost,
Yeah.
on stage. We have Darnell,
Heard that red pill talk, all empty game. Disrespect women trying to bring shame, but we
Out the
don't bow
cap.
down. Nah, we don't break. Independent women make no mistake.
Deontay,
We shine, building our path. Respect over ego.
King Sigma.
Last night here for the boys to
King Sigma, I'll see you tomorrow, man.
powerful boy. Leave 'em dusty, leave 'em broke. We ain't falling for the
Henry
joke.
Mars,
We stay strong, never fall. Real love waits up north and gold. Leave 'em
Angela
dusty,
Reddick,
leave 'em broke. We ain't falling for the joke. Queen stay strong, never fall. Real love waits
Jizzy B,
don't need a man to validate my worth. I've been strong, I've been shining since birth. But if he steps right with truth in his heart, we can build together a powerful star. Cause love ain't control, it's freedom and trust. Partnership solid, respect is a must. Until that one comes, we keep standing tall.
Miss
Independent
Alto.
women, we winning it all. Leave 'em dusty, leave 'em broke. We ain't falling for the joke. Queen stay
part 2 tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. Remember now, catch us on the replay. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
No time for the hate, no time for the mess.
Again, thank you, everyone.
Breaking the cycle. We
Have a
rise
great
above,
evening.
strong
Catch
and
you on the
free till we
next
find
one.
true